What's happening, G.I. Joes? Welcome back to the Rise of Cobra. Cobra! So today we're going to the Desert Jewel, codename Rise. Find out why Cobra is extending vast resources to explore ruins. Yeah, whatever. So there's no...
Why they're being evil.
There's no Joe in this level, that's why it said 0-0.
Are we gonna go to another setting?
We're going to another setting, we're not doing casual.
No, I'm scared. Okay, we'll go.
Oh, whoa!
Advance!
We're going to advance. Down G.I. Joe can be revived at checkpoints. Yo, Joe!
No, I'm scared.
Let's do it. We're gonna do it.
Yo, Joe!
Subtitles on. Okay, so we're on advanced. Okay, here we go. I think I did it right. I'm pretty sure.
Yep.
Pretty sure. Here we go.
You did it.
Here we go. All right, so we're gonna be talking about Duke today. Classic Duke. All right, Joes.
Joes, Cobra has been swarming all over this area. Dusty's investigated to some extent, but he could use a hand. I want your team to see what you can find out.
Joes, move in and get a closer look. I want to know what they're building down there.
Roger that, stalker. So I'm ordering the two of us around. So Duke is from Iowa, and he went to, I want to say, Bennings Military School, I believe in Georgia, if I remember correctly. And Duke was actually not part of the original G.I. Joe comic books.
What?
He was introduced as a brand new character for the G.I. Joe miniseries in 1983.
What do you mean? He was only part of the cartoon then?
He was created for the cartoon.
Whoa, that's weird. So who ran the G.I. Joes then in the comics?
General Hawk.
Oh. I always forget who that guy is.
You haven't met him yet.
Oh, okay.
On the mass teleport manifest, I figured it was just a sci-fi fantasy. I guess those guns they're shooting are more than sci-fi.
Tone is talking so much.
Sorry, Scarlett thought that she was gonna run the G.I. Joes without Duke around.
Well, Scarlett was part of the original comic book characters.
Whoa, that's cool.
She worked under General Hawk.
Yeah, you were telling me some stuff about Duke that, like, you knew all these languages and stuff, or...
Yeah, Duke was, or is fluent in so many different languages, from Asia, Germany, Russia, and he was part of... Hang on, I'm getting shot a lot.
That's right, we can't die.
Can't die this time. Oh no!
Not today!
There we go. Yeah, playing on casual was more fun. I'm worried that I could die at any minute now because I'm the weakest link of the Joe team.
Well, you're also the one that I make you always go forward. I let you take all the hits.
I don't want to take all the hits. It's not called teamwork. I'm scared. Get out of my face.
If you think Scarlett is gonna take the hits for other people, just ask Snake Eyes.
Yeah. But yeah, like you were saying, Duke, he's fluent in so many different languages, and he is the field commander for the G.I. Joes. He's second in command under General Hawk.
Can basically do anything.
Well, he's the all-American hero. Like, he is the definition
He
of
has,
what...
like, so many talents, and I forgot all of them, but yeah, I think he knows, like, Chinese and everything like that.
Stay out of their path, or they'll slice you to ribbons.
He first enlisted into the U.S. military in 1967, like the original, cartoon G.I. Joe. And then he fought in Vietnam. He rescued 30 POWs by himself. And then in 1983, he was moved over to the Special Terrorist Prevention Group, which was working directly under Colonel Flagg. In the animated series, he is at the Joe's base as the commander under General Flagg, and he almost gets killed by Scarlett, who's test flying one of the new Stryker airplanes, and she almost hits him, and they have like kind of a playful banter.
You had info to share?
Yes, sir. Joes, these Mars bozos have developed a serious snake fetish.
Cobras in particular.
Yep, and this is the mother of them all. They're here looking for artifacts from the Temple of Apep, an ancient snake god. Apep was a giant cobra who kept trying to take out the sun god Ra so as to plunge the world into eternal darkness.
Our new friend sure do paint a pretty picture.
Sir, I think we found something. There's serious work going on up ahead. A place known as Apep's Canyon. I get the feeling that whatever's been going on here, we're almost too late to stop it.
Then we need to move double time, Joes. Find Apep's Canyon, and let's hope we're not too late.
Dusty's supposed to sound like a comical westerner.
Interesting.
He doesn't.
Yeah, so I know he knows, like, yeah, he knows tons of languages. He can basically do everything that Batman can do, but without the grumpiness.
Hamburger if you don't get the cover now, Joes.
I don't want to be Hamburger. Yo, Joe!
Yo, Joe!
Why am I not even hitting him? Oh. Uh-oh. Robots! Why did it have to be robots? Aha! G.I. Joe dared to kick your can.
Yo, Joe!
So yeah, Scarlett is test flying one of the new Striker planes that they're going to use against Cobra, and she hasn't seen Duke for a while because she's been on missions with Snake Eye and all this other stuff. So she's been hanging out, and she's like, "I missed you, Duke," when she gets out of the plane, and he's like, "Sure did." And he holds up his fingers, and he's like, "By this much."
Oh yeah, she missed him.
Now, in the Marvel Comics, when Duke shows up, it's not until after the destruction of the G.I. Joe base, which is the first season of the G.I. Joe cartoon show, which was adapted into the, the comics first. It later became part of the series. And that's when Duke shows up and he saves General Hawk and Flint and everybody, and even captures Cobra Commander. Although, of course, Cobra Commander gets out.
Yeah, it's kind of weird that Duke, like, wasn't in the comics, since he's kind of the epitome of a G.I. Joe. It's like kind of what a G.I. Joe is. Mm-hmm. It's just kind of weird. It's almost like he is G.I. Joe.
He's also the only G.I. Joe to escape death. He's like, well, I mean, except in the movie. Except in the live-action movie. But that's all thanks
for now.
For now.
Yeah, you were telling me something about that.
Well, the director of what is it called? G.I. Joe.
Whatever.
I forget.
G.I. Joe Lamesville on the Rise.
The 2013 movie. I know the first one is called Rise of Cobra, but I don't know what the second one is anymore. I haven't seen it. But yeah, the
Rise
director.
of overdone 80s franchise.
The director basically says that, Duke is a G.I. Joe that never really dies, so maybe he'll show up in the next, the third movie I'm working on. And the actor who played Duke heard about this, and he was like,
Channing.
No way! Duke is dead. I am never coming back. I hated playing Duke. I wanted to be Snake Eyes. I watched G.I. Joe when I was a kid. I was so upset that I didn't get to play as Snake Eyes, and I hated Duke with a passion.
How could he hate Duke? He's awesome.
Well, there are some people that don't like Duke because
he's so nice.
Kind of mean.
How is he mean?
He's very assertive.
But doesn't he have to tell people what to do?
Most people are fans of either Flint or Hawk when it comes to the G.I. Joe leadership. Duke was very,
Get her done.
Get her done type. Yeah, exactly. And Flint and Hawk were, they're from the comics, so people were like, yeah, I know these guys, so they related to them more. I related to Duke because it was my name, except with a D.
That's pretty funny.
I need you to reach Apep's Canyon ASAP.
I think that's why my parents called me Luke Duke sometimes, because, like, Luke from both Star Wars and the Dukes of Hazzard.
Yeah.
And then Duke from G.I. Joe. But yeah, anyway,
Totally.
After the death of Optimus Prime, stupid stalker, just showing up for a second to tell me what to do.
That stalker keeps following us and talking to
Well,
us.
Stalker outranks Duke in this in the movie universe.
Oh, he's our boss. Oops, we probably shouldn't talk about
He's the
him.
field commander of the Joes in the in this universe. Duke is just a soldier.
Oh no. Hey. Freeze.
Where was I? What was I was.
So, basically, some people didn't like Duke because he's a take charge guy. And your parents used to call you Luke Duke.
Yeah. So I mean, I always liked Duke because he looked like a grown-up me. You know, blonde hair, handsome.
You, you did have blonde hair. Well, you kind of have blonde hair now, but it's it's darker blonde. It can dye it back. But you know what? If you were on the sun more, it would be blonde. I think that the reason why it got darker is because you're inside more. If you were outside every day, I think it would go lighter again.
If you stay out in the middle of the thing, you're gonna get blown up by the missiles.
I don't need to worry about that now.
No, not really. That was just overkillness.
I don't know why. They're just picturing Duke taking Scarlett on a date while she's wearing this outfit. Why it's
The
like,
robot outfit?
I just think like she looks really manly in this. They should make a girl version of the robot with a bow, or make a pink robot. I don't feel very.
Scarlett, get into some cover.
Sorry.
Are these robots not dead?
Ah!
Wow, that one had to hurt.
Ow!
All right, it's more. It's definitely more fun.
I wish I had all the information of all the cool things Duke did, because we were just talking about it, and I totally
No, there
forgot.
really isn't a lot. I mean,
okay, all right. Because
by the time,
okay, he knows at least 3 or 4 languages.
We've already talked about the language thing like 4 times.
Well then, I don't know what else he does. He's just amazing. He just does everything correctly all the time.
Well, they had to change
He's
some
Duke.
stuff for him. Like in the live-action movie, they made the Baroness his ex-fiance.
Ah,
and that's
I don't
nothing.
Like that.
Cobra Commander was his brother-in-law, like his future brother-in-law. His name was Rex.
So
basically, what happened to Snake Eyes happened to Rex, more or less.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, you were telling me he had compassion on that guy or something for being used to being a human. Wait, is
No, that was
somebody else?
Roadblock.
Oh, okay, alright.
Duke doesn't really know
He doesn't
compassion.
have compassion. He just tells people what to do.
In the second season of G.I. Joe, Dusty's supposed to sound like this and be all like y'all and stuff. So the Dusty that you hear in this game, he doesn't sound like classic Dusty. Yee-haw! That's classic Dusty.
Classic Dusty.
But anyway, Dusty's mom gets really sick with like an asthma disease, and Duke basically tells Dusty that he can't take time off. So Dusty's like, all right, well, I'm gonna help Cobra steal something so that I can get medicine for my mom. And Dusty betrays the G.I. Joes.
Because it's Duke's fault.
I know, but because of what happens, an altercation between Cobra and the Joes, Duke ends up in a coma for like 2 episodes, and Scarlett's really mad. And, you know, Dusty's considered a traitor until the very end you find out that he was actually working under General Hawk's orders, and Duke was like, well, I didn't realize this, so I'm gonna give you time off. And it's just like, that was so out of character for Duke. But Duke isn't supposed to be that type of guy that's like really, you know, hard and mean. Uh-oh.
Yeah, it was difficult to aim in that.
We're going to die from a tank. We're going to die! Oh my gosh, we won! Yo, Joe!
2 people just shot at a tank.
Oh, wasting more of that free money.
Yeah, so basically, I did not realize that Channing Tatum did not want to play Duke at all. Well, I mean, we talked about it before, but it's like he really didn't want to.
Is there a reason why you're not shooting?
I am.
Oh, I was gonna say.
I was at first, and then when you looked over at my controller,
Yo, Joe!
Yo, Joe. But then I didn't realize that actors can't choose what they do. It's just like when you join a network for YouTube or something and they tell you what to do.
Well, I mean, if you have to work with a group of people, I mean, that...
Yeah, so like, basically, I did not realize, I guess they could basically make or break his career if he didn't do it. So I guess he had to do it. And I guess he only wanted to do it if he could play Snake Eyes. So yeah, now the director, I guess, is saying that Duke is a possibility he could come back.
Well, Duke has appeared in every single G.I. Joe incarnation, and he only almost died once. So the only actual death of Duke is the live-action movie. It's the only one.
Yeah, I really wish that they would have had somebody play him that really wanted to play him, though. So it's like, even when I watched the movie, I was like, this doesn't even look like Duke.
But I don't know.
He has-
Duke's
he has,
sense
like,
of
dark
humor.
hair.
Duke's sense of humor is totally me though. Like,
Yeah.
I really liked how Michael Bell played Duke, and Michael Bell, the reason, also one of the key reasons why I liked Duke when I was a kid, he was the voice of Prowl from Transformers.
Oh, Prowl.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if you think about it, though,
Sharp.
you know, somebody leading a military group has probably got to be kind of tough. You can't be like a, you know, sissy pants.
Well, I mean, in the first...
And like always tell people, oh, you know, you have a boo-boo on your hand. Like, you don't have to work today.
Why are you not moving forward?
Sorry. It's like, I guess he has to be tough. I guess that's part of his personality, is basically telling people no all the time. No, you can't have time off.
Well, I
You can't
mean,
do this.
they're in the middle of a war. It's kind of hard to, you know, go home, even though they are in the U.S.
You can have a 2-week vacation to the Bahamas while the rest of your people are on the front lines. It doesn't usually work like that.
But anyway,
Except for it works like that in some...
do you remember how Optimus died because of Rodimus, right?
Is open for business.
Yes.
G.I. Joe business.
Okay.
Yes,
So-
I blame Rodimus for everything.
Yeah, well,
Always will.
in G.I. Joe, they had a Rodimus character that was Duke's brother called Falcon. Falcon,
The intel you found
Dang it.
has lots of references to a weather dominator. Sounds ominous. Go check it out.
okay, this is scary. You've unlocked a bonus desert mission, the Weather Dominator. Nice. All right, so anyway, Duke's brother called Falcon, Rudd, he gets in a fight between Duke and Serpentor, which is the G.I. Joe Big Bad from season 2 on. And, you know, Duke is doing really good taking on Serpentor and kicking butt and whatever, and Falcon decides, you know, because he's younger and he knows better, he's gonna get in between the fight, and Duke loses. And Serpentor, as a, you know, going away present, tries to kill Falcon by throwing his, you know, poison spear at him. So Duke, being the overprotective brother that he is, pushes Falcon out of the way and gets a spear to the chest, which takes up his whole chest.
So basically he has to save his brother. And just like, Optimus Prime basically had to save Rodimus.
Right, but because
And
of
just like somebody else.
because of
Never mind.
Optimus Prime's death, parents caught wind of what was going to happen to Duke somehow. I don't
Yeah.
know how, but they made a protest, and Hasbro had to change the ending of G.I. Joe, the movie.
As well they should have. I agree.
Actually,
don't like
I
main
still-
characters.
Activate your satellite beacon and we can target them from orbit.
Because of Duke surviving, I still have like this huge, like, I don't know, connection with G.I. Joe to this day. Like, not as much of a distance that it did with
That you do with
Transformers.
Transformers.
Because, you know,
Yeah,
Duke
it's like
survives.
because then you realize. Oh, sorry.
Never put your controller down, soldier. Ever.
Sorry, I forgot what we were doing.
We're in a war.
I'm sorry, but I got a boo-boo on my finger. Can I take a 2-week vacation?
Suck it up.
Sadness, Duke, you're so tough. I don't like you.
But yeah, so Duke survived because of the parents, and Michael Bell, who was, you know, he voiced several G.I. Joes and Transformers. When Prowl, you know, died, he asked for a cool send-off, and Prowl, when he gets, like, shot by Megatron, he has, like, this kind of, like, fire vapors come out of his eyes, like a very extreme, like, you know, goes down, guns a-blazing, and Duke would have had a very heroic end, too. But the parents were like, no way, Jose. So Duke then ends up coming back to G.I. Joe during the Deke run, which is a different G.I. Joe company. Not Hasbro. It was another company that did stuff. Not Sunbow. Because Marvel was like, we're not making this series anymore because G.I. Joe's canceled. We're working on all these other different shows, which they never really did. They never had another major hit after 1986 or whatever. And Transformers was really doing badly after the death of Optimus Prime. It got canceled like
Well, that was
not long after. And even once they brought Optimus back, they were kind of like, it doesn't feel the same. And most of the fans from Transformers had moved on to counseling and other things, so they weren't really watching as much cartoons anymore. Parents were kind of like preventing kids from watching a lot of the really great cartoons because of, you know, that they weren't expecting. I mean, these were just toy executives. Most of the kids.
Good job, Joes. Don't slow down now. I want you to keep gaining ground.
Most of the kids ended up flocking to a new property in 1987 called the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yay!
So, you know, that's where all the kids went. The kids that used to be like big Transformers and G.I. Joe fans, they went to Turtles. And, you know, instead of like a whole team of Joes or Transformers to pick your favorite and have them alternate because of like the toy companies telling you what's hot and what's not, you had 4 Turtle Brothers that you could pick through, you know? Like who your favorite would be, and they would be in every single episode. Whereas G.I. Joe, the characters got so big because of all the toys that you didn't know who was going to be in what episode, you know?
Yeah.
Like Duke would alternate with Flint and then Hawk, and sometimes Duke wouldn't even show up at all, or Flint wouldn't show up, or Lady J or Scarlett.
No.
You never knew, you know? Same thing with Transformers, Prowl, and the only characters that were in every single episode would have been like Optimus Prime, and then he had like a different group of Transformers. Like, you never knew who was going to show up.
I always remember you showing me some of the old G.I. Joe stuff, and you would always tell me, like, whenever Duke would do something, you'd explain to me, like, okay, Duke does that because this is the kind of guy he is. And I was like, he's really cool because he knows how to do all this stuff, and he's like really awesome leader, and he's my favorite. And you're like, I always loved seeing Duke grow up when I was a little kid. And I'm like, yeah, I know, Luke. You're like such a super fan of Duke, but it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, so anyway, going by the live-action movie, they did a lot of differences, and we talked about it a little bit, but they made Baroness Duke's ex-fiancée, and he didn't marry her and left her at the altar because Cobra Commander, aka Rex, you know, he thought died behind enemy lines or something like that. So he ends up standing her up at the altar, and then she gets, like, nanites put in her body, and she becomes the Baroness. It changes her hair from blonde to, like, the Black Baroness hair.
Whoa, was she good before, or?
Work here is just beginning.
So it's kind of... What? So it's kind of his fault. Like, he just left her there.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, I could see some things why people don't like Duke. But still, I mean, I guess there's a lot of pressure on him.
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure, but...
Oh, it actually goes past the line.
It does go past the line. Keep going, keep going, keep going, keep going.
Go!
Go. Oh, why? That was so close.
Oh, I feel like this is just not even worth it. Why even play on the advanced mode?
We're gonna go back to casual.
This is like stressful and tense for us to play on this
Difficulty bonus. Okay.
There's no point.
Whoa! We got G.I.Joe Reg. I've never done that.
Yay, it was worth it.
It was worth it for that one time.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
One time. One time. Bonus mission unlocked, so that's good. But yeah, Duke was really cool. You know, it was, I never really paid attention to the non-Michael Bell version, though. Like, I tried to.
Yeah.
But each Duke they would make different. Like, his personality would be, like, incredibly different. It was just kind of like, I don't know what they're doing here, you know? So... He
was mainly the leader of most of the missions, I think.
Yeah, until General Hawk came in. Like, when Hawk came in the cartoon show, then that was it for Duke. Duke would just have a secondary role.
Oh yeah, that was so weird. It's like he was there, but not.
And if you notice, the very first official season, not the 2 miniseries, not the first 5-episode miniseries and then the 84 miniseries, the actual 1985 series... It has Duke in it, but he is not the one who yells "Yo Joe." That's Flint at the beginning and Lady J. And then they have Flint and Lady J beat up Destro and Cobra Commander in the intro.
I think I figured out who Duke is. He's a Red Ranger, and Hawk is Tommy.
No, Flint would be Tommy, because Flint shows up a lot.
All right.
But anyway, guys and gals, that does it for this episode. We're switching back to casual so we can like breeze through the levels much quicker. That was a lot of fun, but also... It was a little hairy, you know? But thanks so much for taking the time to watch. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you next time with the bonus episode.
Bonus.
Desert Elements. God bless and happy gaming.
See ya.